Well, dystonia is a neurological condition, let's just say it that way. Okay, and I've had it for about 6 years. Wow. Okay, and what it does is it affects my muscles in my body. They fight against each other, and it's very painful. Okay, and very uncomfortable. And what it does is, by the pulling and the twisting of my muscles, it tends to make me look like an afflicted type of way.
I have generalized dystonia, which is all over, full body. So I have it from head to toe. It was noticed when I was a teenager, but we weren't sure what it was. So they called it an anxiety attack, a physical anxiety attack. But it was actually signs of dystonia. I was 17. Yes, I was a small-time model. I did bike shows, motorcycle shows. I did some calendars. The lights, like you said, was pretty harsh, and I was noticing symptoms then, but back then I was better. I wasn't like I am now. I was also in college to become a computer programmer, and life was really looking up for me until it got bad in the past couple of years. I had to drop out of school because of dystonia.
What treatments are available? The treatment that I'm taking is called Botox. Now, most females have heard of Botox because of, cosmetic-wise. But I take it for the dystonia. I take it once, a shot once every 3 months. Now, when I go for that appointment, I have to take about 15 shots at a time. Wow. And that's very, very painful. And they give me shots all over my body.
Now, which quadratus? The quadratus is, in this area. So the right side more?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I only have 50,
Yeah.
so I want to use it judiciously.
Yeah.
And so we can go, the best thing is to go by where your symptoms are. So point with your hand where it is.
It really hurts up in this area here.
Show me again.
Right in here. Yeah.
Tell me what I'm
A little lower. Yeah, right there. Yeah.
So more in that one?
Yeah, right there, right
Okay,
there.
now that like seizes up on you?
Yeah.
Doc, how does Botox work?
Okay, so Botox is synthesized. It's actually made by bacteria, and it's one of the most potent neurotoxins known to man. Now, it's very, very small doses, but it's taken up by the nerve, and you put it in the muscle, and it's taken up by the nerve, and it prevents the release of the neurotransmitter that causes the muscle to contract. And it does that by binding to a protein that pulls the neurotransmitter to the membrane. And so that protein is resynthesized in about 3 months, and that's why you keep needing the medicine. So, so again, you inject it into the muscle. It's taken up by the nerve, and at the nerve terminal, it prevents the release of the neurotransmitter. So if you can't release neurotransmitter, you can't contract the muscle. And it's all degrees. It's not yes or no. A muscle has millions of fibers, and you might hit 200,000 of them. So it's all a matter of degrees. And he has dystonia so diffuse that sometimes you hit one area and another one acts up. you hit the area that counts, and then the muscle finds a way to contract around it. So it's like a moving target.
Wow. Now you're doing something for awareness.
Yes, yes.
What is it that you're doing?
Well, what we're doing is we open up a foundation, and it's called Dystonia Matters. And, you know, we just started that foundation, and so it's not really out yet, but it's going to be kicked off pretty soon. And we just want to have everyone get knowledgeable about the illness, because there's a lot of people who don't know about the disease. There's a lot of people who, you know, when I tell them what illness that I have, they say, I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of it until the last time when you mentioned it.
Yes.
And I noted the last time when you were here, you had a problem with the light.
Yes, yes, the lights. You know, that's a trigger. The light's a trigger. Loud music is a trigger. When it rains, sunlight, you know, everything extreme triggers dystonia. You know, I mean, I get an attack every day.
Oh, wow.
But when I have those conditions and those scenarios, that's when I get it very bad.
So what do you do when you get these attacks? I mean, it depends on where you are. How do you handle this?
Well, if I'm driving, you know,
Yeah.
I tend to tell when it's coming on. Either pull over.
What are your symptoms? I mean, what do you...
Well, my muscles tend to flare up and everything, and my body seize up, and so it basically just shuts down. And so that's what I have to have someone else take the wheel, or, you know, I said when it happens for 15 minutes, or it happens the whole entire day. When I'm in bed, I just can't move.
Wow, this
You
sounds
know?
so serious. I mean, especially if you're driving.
Yes, yes, it is. I mean, over 400,000 people have this condition, but really no one knows about it, okay? I mean, like MS, Parkinson's, those are cousins to dystonia. But dystonia has more people in it than all those other diseases, conditions combined.
Oh, wow.
And they still haven't found a cure.
No, I know. I wish they would find a cure. I'm
Yes,
sure they're
yes.
doing some researches or something to get this thing.
Yes.
Because it seems like a very serious thing. And the last time you were here, I just thought maybe it was lights.
Yes.
I didn't think it was that involved.
Yes, it is.
Can you tell us again the awareness so that people can be aware of this? Because sometimes we may have it and we don't even know.
Right. Well, once again, if you know, like for me, you know, how I found out about it, you know, I was at work, and then my arm felt like my whole shoulder felt like it was dislocated, and I know I wasn't doing anything for my shoulder to get dislocated, but it happened, and then it started very, very painful. Then my arms and my hands started moving in a unconditional way, uncommon way. And then I didn't know what to do. They called the ambulance, and they came, and they treated me. So if it affects your throat, you know, and then it stops me from speaking, you know.
Oh, wow.
And you know, like there's various types of dystonia. You know, they have it where they call it eye fluctuation dystonia. You can have it in your legs, your foot, your back, and that's called focal dystonia. And what I have is generalized dystonia, which is all of them combined. And so if you see somebody, and you know, there's no way to tell too that the person has dystonia, because when we went to the doctor couldn't even diagnose me because he didn't know what I had. Wow. So me and my wife, we looked it up, and she actually diagnosed me by having that illness because I had all the symptoms of dystonia.
Wow. This is interesting, dystonia. Look it up.
Yes, look it up.
Because you never know. I mean, these days, anything can happen to anybody.
Yes.
You know. So is there anything that we haven't covered that you'd like to tell me about dystonia?
Well, I mean, we covered everything.
Yeah.
But I would just like to say, just you know, people out there, just do your research on dystonia. you know, because if if a person has dystonia, one way that you can tell is because if that person will tend to become aloof. He doesn't want to socialize with anybody.
Right.
He doesn't want to go any place. You know, I stayed in my house for a whole year because I didn't want to go outside because I didn't know when that condition would affect me and would come on.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, definitely. So if they see anybody with dystonia, smile with them,
Yeah.
tell them hi, give them a hug, you know, shake their hands, you know, don't treat them like an outcast.